All right, so this video is going to cover how to create these three-dimensional objects in Fusion. You will have access to this particular document as a hard copy. So we're going to start with ISO number 1. And the grid spacing for all of these objects is 0.5 inches. So when we start in Fusion, we want to change our units. We change our units to inches. So we go under the document setting tab, click on the edit pencil for our units, and then make sure that inches is selected and click OK. All right, so the grid spacing here for the base of this particular object, the number of boxes that make up the base is 7 boxes. We're going to take that number and multiply the value of the grid spacing, 0.5 inches. So the grid spacing is 0.7, 7 times 0.5. So I can do this multiple ways. I could do it with a rectangle or I could do it with a line. I'm going to start with a line. I'm going to start at the center. And I'm going to create the base. And I'm going to type in 7 times 0.5. I'm going to press enter. I'm going to go vertical now with a line as well again. So I'm going to click on line again. Start at the origin. I'm going to go vertical. I'm going to type in 5 times 0.5. Press enter. Where did I get that from? The number of boxes that make up the height of this line is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'm concentrating on making is this L shape or the profile of ISO number 1. So I got the vertical and I have the base. Now I'm going to go after the other lines that will complete the profile. I'll go back to line, look up at the top here, stretch out, and this is going to be 2 times 0.5. Press enter. Back to line, we'll come down. And this is going to be 3 times 0.5. Enter. And then I'm going to complete this by going back to the line command, clicking the end of this last line that I made, moving my cursor to the end of this line, highlighting there and dragging back so I pick up what we call a tracking. I click there, and then I can close the profile. As you notice, now that we have a closed surface, the surface area turns a shade of blue. So let's recap. The baseline was 7 times 0.5. The vertical was 5 times 0.5. That's how I got these values. This line here is 2 boxes, so it was 2 times 0.5. And then this line right here was 3 times 0.5. So now since I have a closed surface, I hit escape, get out of that line command. And I'm going to drag this dimension up by left clicking and dragging, left clicking and drag. You can see where all my dimensions have been placed. So now I'm going to go to finish sketch. I'm going to go to extrude. And so the extrusion for this is 5 times 0.5. So I'm going to grab my arrow, press this out, and inside of here, we'll just highlight it right here. I'm going to type in 5 times 0.5. I'm going to click OK. So now I have the shape without these 2 cuts. And now we're going to attempt to make these 2 cuts. So remember, before we make anything, we always need to start with a sketch. So I click create a sketch, click on this surface, Now I'm going to use a rectangle. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a rectangle on this surface. Left click and drag. Now I'm going to go about dimensioning that rectangle. I know that the baseline of this rectangle is here. That's going to be 3 times 0.5. So I click on the Create tab. I'll scroll down to Sketch Dimensions. And pull this line here. And click that. And I'm going to change that to 3 times 0.5. Press Enter. This line right here has only one box makes up this line right here. So I'm going back to Sketch Dimensions. I'm going to click this point, pull that dimension up. So it's 0.5. So I got lucky right there. I'm going to check the other side. Press Enter. It should be 0.5 as well. So no need to dimension that. What I am going to mention is this line here. Grab this line, pull it out. Oops. Point, point, point to point. And this line should be 0.5 as well. So now I've created this profile here for this rectangle. Finish sketch. I want to go to extrude again. I'm going to click this surface. This is going to be a cut. And that cut is going to be, the cut goes back 2 boxes, 1, 2. So cut distance, I'm going to put in 0.5 times 2. But I want to make that negative because I want it to go back the other way. Press Enter. So we have one more cut to create. 2D sketch, click this surface. I'm going to use the rectangle again. I'll lock into this edge. Now here's what we talked about in class before. Maybe I'll project this geometry so that I can make sure that I lock into this edge. I'll click on project, go to projected, click this surface, click OK. Now this surface has been projected. I go to rectangle to make sure I'm locking into this, to the end of the surface. Rectangle, open that up. Now I'm going to go about dimensioning that. So this cut right here is 3 boxes long. When I go to dimensions, I'm going to click this line. I'm going to type in 3 times 0.5. Press Enter. Line right here, made up of 1 box, so that's going to be just 0.5. Now I need to get the distance off of each edge. So that distance is 2 boxes. So I'm still in dimension mode. Click this line, and I'll type in 2 times 0.5. Press Enter. And I should get the same on this side. So the error is telling me I was over dimensioning. Now that's complete, I do a finish sketch, go to extrude, click this profile. I want it to be a cut. So I'm going to drag the arrow downward. And I'm going to keep that negative in there. I'm going to type in 2 times 0.5. Oops. Negative 2 times 0.5. That's it. And this is how you create ISO number 1 in Fusion 360.